I know for a fact that they were heartbroken to see the child's own family leave him behind.
Now I want to show you a weekend report from ABC News. ABC News, supposedly a place of journalism. This is David Muir on ABC talking about the 5-year-old boy who was just returning from preschool and was detained by ICE. Much of this turned out not to be true, but I don't want to lead too much. Well, I guess I've done it. Go.
The growing outrage in Minneapolis, the images of a 5-year-old boy returning home from preschool, detained by ICE. Agents taking the boy and his father into custody. Vice President J.D. Vance in Minneapolis today defending ICE agents, claiming they were protecting the child, saying, what are they supposed to do? Matt Rivers in Minneapolis again tonight.
Tonight, the haunting images sparking a firestorm. A preschool boy standing in the Minnesota cold, swept up in the ICE crackdown. School officials say 5-year-old Liam, wearing his blue hat and backpack, and his father, Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, had just pulled into their suburban Minneapolis driveway Tuesday when agents took that father into custody. The school then saying an agent essentially used the 5-year-old as bait, directing him to see if anyone else was home before taking the boy away. The district saying Liam is among 4 students recently detained.
Okay, so this is interesting. You can see they really want you to have sympathy here. Now, I will just say this before we even get into the debunking. The 5-year-old kid who has been dragged into this, I have nothing but sympathy for. He is not guilty of anything. He was brought into this earth, put into a horrific situation. His father is illegal, which they didn't mention in that portion of the video. It is unclear to me. Can we check? Was the kid born here or not? Do we know that? So we'll find out whether the kid's born here. But think about that. If you came here illegally, right? So now you're illegal, and then you have a kid here. Your kid is legal, and then people start screaming about family separation. It's like, whose fault is that? You've now created an incredibly difficult situation, because if this guy, the father, is going to get deported now, well, if the kid, we're checking it. Okay, so the kid was not born in the U.S., so the kid is not a citizen either. So the kid likely, all right, so at least the family will not be separated, right? And nobody would want a father, regardless of immigration status. I don't want to see a father ripped away from his son or the son ripped away from his father. But again, whose fault would any version of that be? It would be on the person who broke the law in the first place. Anyway, you can see ABC put that story up, and it makes it sound like they were just going to grab this kid and everything else. Well, here's an ICE official explaining what really happened.
This week, ICRO conducted targeted enforcement operation to arrest Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, an illegal alien who was released back into the interior of the United States by the previous administration. When officers approached Conejo Arias, he and his child were in a vehicle. Arias fled from law enforcement on foot, abandoning his child in the middle of winter in a vehicle. One of our officers stayed behind with that child while other officers apprehended his father. After conducting the arrest, my officers stayed with the child. They cared for him, took him to get something to eat from a drive-through restaurant, and spent hours ensuring he was taken care of. Again, my officers did that, not his father. My officers did everything they could to reunite him with his family. Tragically, when we approached the door of his residence, the people inside refused to take him in and open the door. Let me say it again. They saw the young boy, and they refused to open the door and take him back. This is the human side of the job that my officers do. They are family men and women. They have children of their own. They sacrifice everything for their families. I know for a fact that they were heartbroken to see the child's own family leave him behind. Fortunately, Conejo Arias eventually requested that his child stay with him. We do everything in our power not to separate families. So they took him back together to Minneapolis, here to the city, to the ICE facility for processing, and now they are being well cared for at a family residential center, pending their immigration proceedings.
A little bit different than the ABC News story that you got there, isn't it? So when my spidey sense went off, not because I've been bit by a radioactive spider, it's just because I've been through this many times. I knew something else was going on here. So they had this guy's name because he had already previously been arrested and let back into the interior. They go to arrest him. He abandoned the child. So on ABC, when they show you the video of the kids standing out there, and it is cold, that's right. But they want to make it seem like, oh my God, ICE just left this kid out in the cold and everything else. Actually, the father left the kid in the car, and then the ICE guys took him for a burger. But this is what they do.